What is going on, guys and girls? My name is Gloom, and today we are back with another brand new track review. This time we are taking a look at the new song slash single, and they also released a music video for the band Hail the Sun's new song called Parasitic Cleanse. They just released it today, and if you don't know Hail the Sun, they are a progressive kind of post-hardcore band that were formed in 2009 in Chico, California. As of the recording of this video, they've done 4 studio albums and 3 EPs. The best way to describe their genre is kind of like, think Dance Gavin Dance, a lot like Birds, bands like that. They are kind of a like progressive post-hardcore kind of band. They mix post-hardcore with like math rock and prog rock and like that kind of stuff. If you like bands like Dance Gavin Dance, that's the big one. You'll kind of know what you're getting with Hail the Sun. Like I said, they formed in 2009. They released their first album, Powerite and the Kisser, in 2010. And then they followed that up in 2012 with an EP called Elephantitis. That they released both of these while they were unsigned. And then in 2014, they actually signed with Dance Gavin Dance's guitarist, Will Swan. They signed with his record label, Blue Swan Records, and released their second album, Wake, which is the album that got most people into them, got most of their recognition from so far. That's actually how I found out about them as well. But they only stayed on Blue Swan for that album before signing with Equal Vision Records, if you've heard of them. They're a pretty good label. And they released their third album, Culture Scars, in 2016. And then immediately followed that up only a year later in 2017 with the EP Secret Wars. And then in 2018, they released their fourth and current studio album, Mental Knife. Then about the end of 2020, kind of the middle of 2020, they started releasing a bunch of reimagined and redone versions of some of their songs from past albums, and they turned that into a little EP called Reimagined that came out in 2020. Like I said, it's just kind of like a little brief reimagining kind of remix of some of their songs. And they actually have their new album coming out on April 16th of this year. It's called New Age Filth. It's going to be their 5th studio album. It's going to be through Equal Vision. This song we're going to take a look at, Parasitic Cleanse, is actually the second single to promote this album. A couple weeks ago, they released their first single to promote the album called Domino. It was a pretty good song. I really liked it. The song's been on repeat since I first heard it. I think it's a really great song, really catchy. Like I said, it's been stuck in my head ever since I heard it. Before I get into this song here, I want to kind of go over my history with the band, because I only mentioned really that I got into them from Wake. But if you know me and you watched my first video where I showed my CD collection, you kind of know a little bit. Hail the Sun is actually like my favorite band of all time. I'm going to put some pictures on screen to go along with what I'm saying. I actually just a couple weeks ago got their logo, their sigil logo, tattooed. It was my very first tattoo. I'm subscribed to their Patreon. I'm actually the highest tier subscriber at $25 a month. Gets you a bunch of really cool stuff for doing that. And one of those things was you get to do a video call with the band every couple months. And this was actually the day after I got my tattoo. I got to video call. Me and my friend Will got to do a video call with all the members of the band, and I got to show them my tattoo, kind of chat with them. They were really, really nice guys. Like, genuinely, they were pretty nice dudes. But anyways, they got their new album coming out, New Age Filth, like I said. To coincide along with the release of the first single, Domino, they started launching these waves of new merch and pre-order stuff that you can get alongside the album. And they are doing these like exclusive limited time like phases of merch drops where they'll drop like permanent items that are still on their website as of the recording of this, but they've been doing this thing where they're releasing different phases of limited run merch that are only available for a certain amount of time. And another thing to kind of go along with how much I like this band, aside from obviously having them tattooed and all that, for the limited merch I already pre-ordered one of the limited items was the Sandstone hoodie. I'm going to put a picture on that on screen so you can see what it looks like. I got their face mask and obviously the CD. With this album promotion, they've been doing this really cool thing where their iconic and established sigil logo, the one I got tattooed, they've been with this new merch and the promotion of this album, they've been doing this kind of like rebranding where they're using that sigil logo and change it up towards kind of like made out of greenery and like these kind of plant looking things, and I think it looks really, really fucking sick. That's why one of the main reasons I picked up the Sandstone hoodie is because it has that on it and it looks really, really cool. So alongside the release of Parasitic Cleanse, they released a second wave of limited merch, and I just got one of the limited run items was like a tie-dyed black shirt that has a picture of like a nuke going off on it. I think it looked really dope. All the merch they've been releasing for the promotion of this album has been really sick. So yeah, I'm super hyped for that album, as you can tell. Anyways, on to the song. So Donovan, their vocalist and drummer, had been starting to post and tease this song by posting the letters of the song's title one by one and like a jumbled order to get people to try to guess the song that they were going to release before it came out. A couple people on Twitter have been trying to put it together, and actually I've seen people that already came to the conclusion that the song was going to be Parasitic Cleanse before it got dropped, and looks like they were right. Last night at midnight, this song actually dropped on Patreon because people were subscribed to Patreon, get it early, as well as the music video and like the merch. I saw this video dropped at midnight, and I got to watch it and listen to the song before anyone else got to, besides, if you're on Patreon. I gave it a listen, but I wasn't able to like fully digest it because it was midnight, and I was already almost asleep. I was getting in bed for work. So all day today, I've been having this song on repeat like I do normally when a new song comes out that I kind of want to digest and get my feel for it. I always want to have a good idea of my thoughts on a song before I post a review of it. But anyways, we got this new song, Parasitic Cleanse. This song is really, really good. I didn't expect anything less from them. They're, like I said, they're my favorite band. I'm gonna pretty much love everything that comes out by them. But this song is actually a pretty pleasant surprise because Domino, I thought was a great song. It's really catchy, really melodic. Parasitic Cleanse opens up like right out of the gate, just punches you right in the face with this really heavy intro with like double bass drumming, kind of like chuggy riffs, and even Donovan screaming like right from the start. Just hit. They don't waste any time getting into it. And even at the beginning, it even sounds like for a second Donovan does more of like a low kind of scream, which isn't that common for him. He usually sticks to like a kind of mid-range high yell type scream. So hearing that low is cool. I hope he does that more. And it's coupled with like this really just in-your-face double bass that's continuously going along with these like chuggy riffs at the beginning of the song. Then after that, the song transitions from like this really aggressive intro into this really groovy and kind of like jazz type of riff that goes along with the verses and the bridge and that kind of stuff. And the song basically does like this transition back and forth between this heavy double bass type of sound and then transitioning back into like the groovy and melodic kind of rhythmic parts. And it goes back and forth between that for the song entire duration. It's really good. Hail the Sun and most type of bands in this type of like swancore genre, as they call it, they're known for having a lot of tempo changes, like transitions and uncommon time signatures, and this song's a pretty great example of it. I like when Hail the Sun gets heavy. They're not the heaviest band in the world, obviously, but when they do have more of that aggressive side into it, I think they pull it off really well, especially when comparing it with Donovan's more melodic and really like soft and beautiful sounding singing voice. Donovan, like I'm biased obviously because they're my favorite band, but I do think Donovan, their vocalist and drummer, is one of the best vocalists period that I've ever heard. I love his voice. People compare him to Anthony Green a lot from Seosin and Circus Survive, and I can definitely see that, but hearing both bands, because I like Seosin and Circus Survive too, hearing them and Hail the Sun so many times, I think over time you can start to differentiate the difference between Anthony Green and Donovan. They have pretty different tones. Both great vocalists nonetheless. But yeah, sound-wise, I'm really liking this song. It's great. Like I said, I like the heavier parts, and I really like the groovy and kind of rhythmic, kind of like tapping your foot type of beat it goes along with the rest of the song. So yeah, pretty impressed. This makes me more hyped for the album than I already was. This and Domino together are great songs to promote the album. Music video wise, it's just kind of a standard, like, it's just Donovan in the video, no one else in the band, probably because of the pandemic. It's really put a damper on bands performing music videos, performing live, that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of a basic video of Donovan by himself singing with a microphone, some cool backgrounds in there. It's a nice looking video, but it's not, it's not anything like super flashy, which isn't a bad thing because the song is what it's about. But yeah, song, really, really good song. Before I let you guys go, I want to talk about the lyrics a little bit and the meaning of the song. On Patreon, when they dropped this song, they basically made a post where they showed, they revealed the music video, and they kind of went into detail about the lyrics and what the song means. So I'll read that to you of what they said, because you won't see this unless you're subscribed to their Patreon. But they say here, the meaning behind parasitic cleanse is the idea that in order for humans to do such terrible things to each other, the attacking side must almost convince its constituents that those they are attacking are not human. Otherwise, the horrific actions they take would be unthinkable. So, kind of goes into like the idea of corrupt and rotten people having to demoralize and basically dehumanize the people above them to make them easier to criticize and make their points seem more valid. I think it's a really good issue to talk about, especially in relation to things like politics. In general, you probably can think of something where you see somebody acting superior to somebody below them, kind of stepping on them and making it seem like they're the high and mighty while the other ones are just kind of insignificant. Hail the Sun's lyrics have always been really thought-provoking and really in-depth. That's one of the things that made me connect with the band the most, is that Donovan writes really, really good lyrics that kind of make you think, kind of get you to feel certain ideas and messages that he wants to get across. So this song's not lacking in the lyrical department at all. Basically, to sum it up, this song is really good. Like I said, not disappointed at all. I'm really, really hyped for this album. I already have it pre-ordered, and I will be listening to it as soon as it comes out. Hail the Sun is my favorite band, and I'm really glad that in the midst of this terrible pandemic we got going on in the world, all of us at least have new music coming out to kind of distract us, and especially when it's Hail the Sun, my favorite band of all time. I'm going to be pretty entertained and, pretty happy with what comes out this year. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on the new Hail the Sun song, Parasitic Cleanse. Again, their new album, New Age Filth, comes out in April. Really, really hyped for it. Hopefully we get at least one more song before the album comes out. I think we will. Anyways, take a listen to the song. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check out the song and let me know what you think. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble, and as always, have a good day, guys. See ya.